now.
Okay. Woo.
Woo,
Let's
hallelujah.
start again. Thank you all for sticking with us. Again, welcome to Shamanic Sundays. I'm Kimberly Pinkson here with my dad, Dr. Tom Pinkson, a pioneer in the space of bridging indigenous wisdom from his mentors and teachers that I was fortunate to meet many, and we're bringing Shamanic Sundays here to you to bring through some of the inspiration that Tom has to share with us, some of the teachings. I certainly appreciate it. And my sister and our whole family depend on it so much. And so we wanted to share it with you on Sunday mornings too. So Poppy, you are in, where are you right now?
I'm in Waikiki with Andrew. We got a free place for a week stay in Waikiki, so we came over for a little getaway, and I'm out on the beach here, and there's Mother Ocean behind me, and gentlemen are just setting up these chairs where I'm not supposed to be, so we'll see if I get kicked off.
All right. Do you want to, you mentioned feeling the energy of the ocean and maybe a welcome song around that. Would you want to share that with us?
Ocean, Mother Ocean, Mother, thank you, thank you. Ocean, Mother Ocean, Mother, thank you for your life. Kanaloa, Kanaloa, thank you. Kanaloa, Kanaloa, thank you for life. Gratitude to Mother Ocean on your gifts. All the swimming people, salute and Pinkson. Thank you for your medicine, the teachings, your beauty and your power. Kanaloa, spirit of the ocean in Hawaii. Oh,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I've been thinking a lot this last week about the power of setting intention before a day starts, as a day starts, as a week starts. And certainly we do that before we go out on vision quest, before we go into ceremony. So could you talk a little bit about the power of setting intention, specifically around preparing to go into shamanic journeying?
well, I think the power of attention applies to anything in life because you're starting your day every day. You wake up alive.
Oh,
There's software conditioned into your unconscious from your cultural upbringing. So that sets an unconscious intention, and that intention from our culture that's materialistically based and doesn't really care about who you are, but the culture just wants to use you in service of let's call it the machine, capitalist machine, to keep that economy running. So we're that intention's in our unconscious. We don't have to push the play button when we get up. It plays automatically. And most of us brought up in our culture, learned how to be fault finders and judging ourselves that we're not good enough, and negative thought forms of limitation. And that just starts running automatically. So real question is, if you don't want to experience suffering that you're contributing to, then you need to pull the plug on that unconscious condition and co-create with the new breath that comes in, a conscious, what you might call a conscious dream, co-creating with spirit. And you can set an intention for what you want to experience. If you want to experience the suffering, then just let the unconscious condition software run, because it's going to run. You don't have to worry about that. It's in there. It's really deep in there. But if you hold an intention that you've had enough suffering in your life, and to whatever degree you can not contribute to suffering, then you can set the intention to open your consciousness to spirit's presence or the love's presence. And everything starts with intention. Everything starts with an intention. So we have the opportunity, when we're conscious in the moment, when we're paying attention and mindful in the moment, so we can see the breath coming in, we can feel the breath coming in, just like the waves behind me. You see the waves coming in. So the wave of breath comes in, And we can use it because it's life force power. Here they call that mana, ki, chi, power coming in of life, to set the intention to open my consciousness to spirit's presence, to love's presence, to peace, to experience inner peace, to experiencing joy, to experiencing access to creativity and wisdom and power to be able to create responses to the challenges that come today, that open the doorway to bring through fullest blossoming, greatest good. So without setting a conscious intention, you're giving the power to the unconsciously conditioned software intentions that are already in you. And most of that programming is going to create suffering. If you've had enough of it, pull the plug on it, set a conscious intention for what you want to experience in this moment of being alive, what you want to experience for this day. And then you're planting a seed, you might say, in the garden of your subconscious as you focus on that affirmation of what you want to experience. Everything starts with intention.
Oh, thank you. When we go into shamanic ceremony, oftentimes we share intention with others in the circle. And I think that oftentimes there's like some accountability in that, right? Like when you vocalize it, you put it out there. So I also just want to encourage folks, if it feels right to you to reach out to someone that you trust, that you can share your intention with, whether it's for the day or for the week or for the month, for the year. Yeah, I just think that there's power in that too. Yeah, and it takes vulnerability, right, to share your intention. And there's so much research now about the power of vulnerability, and that may seem contradictory, but really by you showing up with an open heart and sharing what's up for you, your fears, insecurities, whatever it is you're working with, that opens up the opportunity for other people to acknowledge their stuff, and then together you can open up to be even more fully your beautiful self, right?
Yeah. So let's do what you're talking about. What's
Okay.
your intention? I invite you to share your intention.
What's my intention for today?
Yeah.
Okay, what's my well, for one, with Nicole, to figure out the technology to get that working clear. What is my intention? I think just to keep remembering my own inner strength and to let that come through, as in whatever ways I need it to, and to remember my own gifts and wisdom and ability to be of positive impact, and not let insecurity stop me from stepping into that.
Maybe so.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I have many intentions that I start every day with, even as soon as I wake up. So I've already said those intentions. So let me just drop in and see which intention comes through right now.
And to those of you joining us live, you can share yours in the chat too if you want to.
Great idea.
Yeah.
So sitting by Mother Ocean here with the waves behind me. One of my intention settings goes like this. Just dropping into it. I skillfully set my sails with intention, with receptivity, with humility, with fluidity and flexibility and gratitude to catch the winds and waves of God's grace, successfully making sacred marriage, but all across my path today, April 16th, 2023, opening the Nearika, opening the doorway to bring through fullest blossoming, greatest good, walking the good red heart path road to completion with joy, grace, and gratitude. Open myself to your presence, offer myself to you, Great Spirit, to be used as a channel for your healing light and love that all across my path today. Prayers for peace and healing in the world for all people. Oh.
May it be so. May it be so.
Thank you.
Yeah, it strikes me as my eyes keep getting distracted by people walking behind you on the beach. It's kind of funny, like, but it also just reminds me, as we're sitting here talking about intention, how easily it is to get distracted, right? And to let the external stimuli tell you that whatever you're intending is wrong, or you're stupid, or you're weak, or you're, you know, overshooting, or whatever it is that, right?
Can I interrupt you for a second? Speaking about
Yeah.
interruptions,
Yeah.
when for all of you listening to this, when Kimberly was a baby and just starting to crawl, I would I'd go off and do my yoga in our bedroom to get privacy and solitude to do my yoga. And then it struck me that it would be a good idea to do my yoga in the living room where all the distractions were, so I could strengthen my ability to stay focused while there were distractions. So I remember one time doing a headstand. I love to do headstands, and I just get into that yoga posture and just stay there for a long time. And Kimberly would crawl over to me while I was doing a headstand and start licking my nose or pulling my ears or something like that. And it took me it was really a great exercise to stay focused and not fall out of my headstand while you were providing all these distractions. So thank you for your help.
You're welcome. And now I know karmically why years later, when Nicole and I and Pia were putting on dance shows in the living room, and you would throw stuff at us,
No, wait a minute, let's
pieces
clear
of
stuff.
paper.
It would be little spitballs, not
Yeah,
anything that would hurt you.
not nothing that would hurt us. Maybe a piece of rotten fruit here or there. Nothing that would be too bad. But your rationale was you were helping to strengthen our ability to stay focused in the midst of chaos and horrible audience members. So now I know why you were just, it was karmic. You were just getting even with me for chewing on you while you were doing your yoga. Anyways, bringing it back to our community here. So just remembering, as you're setting intention, there's always going to be distractions, whether it's the little voice of insecurity, or something, you know, bigger happening in the universe and the world, right? With our 24/7 news cycle, there's so much to, you know, to be upset about or sad about or fearful about, or feel like, you know, there's just a lot of darkness out there. So I wonder if we could talk for a little bit about, you know, I think one of the things that scares me about some of the new folks leading shamanic journeys, is that there's a lot of, like, I don't know, for lack of a better word, like pop-up shamans nowadays, people that, you know, do a 6-week course, or they, you know, go to a couple of ceremonies, and then they, you know, get the epiphany that they too should be a shaman. And now they're hosting and organizing plant medicine journeys. And that really scares me, because I think without the right guide and without the right training, which doesn't happen over months, it happens over years and years and years and years. You know, you've been doing this for 55 plus years, studying and then studying with your indigenous mentors and then leading ceremony. And you know, it's fine if everything's going smooth, you know, to be leading without a lot of experience. But if you haven't been, and then, you know, the dark energy shows up, and it often does in life. And so it does in ceremony too. So could you talk a little bit about how you deal with dark energy during a ceremony, and then how we might be able to take those tools to apply them, to dealing with dark energy in our lives, in day-to-day life?
It's good to get up in the morning and experience dawn when Father Sun comes up, because every morning it gives us a reminder about the power of the light to cut through darkness. Or if you go into a dark room or a closet and it's totally dark, and you light a candle, that power of light cuts through the darkness. The power of light always cuts through darkness. And so what's the source, the ultimate source of light? Well, in the physical plane, it's Father Sun. And what's the source of Father Sun's energy? Our previous solar explosions, hopscotching all the way back to the beginning that created Big Bang of the universe. So the source of the light is a great spirit, it's a great mystery. And to be able to connect with, through your practices, with opening your awareness to Great Spirit's presence. You don't have to pray for Great Spirit's presence. You don't have to pray for the sun to come up. The universe works. It's been working for a long time. Our our task in being alive and challenge and opportunity is learn how the universe works and therefore how to harmonize with it. So one of the ways to harmonize with it is to connect with that light when it first comes up in the morning. Fill yourself up with it. Give thanks for the gift of life, the gift of illumination. And every day it reminds us with that power to cut through the light of our true nature, illumination, the essence of our being, sacred, worthy, luminous beings of love that is forgiving. And the challenges that come, one of my favorite sayings is what gets in the way is the way. So when the distractions come, instead of judging them as bad or wrong, whatever they might be, internal distractions or from the world of what's going on, it's not happening by accident. So the issue is, for me anyway, the dynamic is how can I create a response to the truth of what's happening inside of me, internally, what's happening in the field that I'm around, that gives me opportunity to do my work to open the doorway to bring through what's always there in potential, fullest blossoming, greatest good, for peace, for healing, for transformation, for beauty, for courage, for inner peace. So connecting with that light that's the way I start the day, is connecting with that light and filling my tanks up with it, charging my batteries, which strengthens my faith, my faith and trust in Spirit's presence. And I go around and do my prayers through the directions. Power of the South, faith, surrendering with faith and trust, the great Spirit's presence through the power of faith and trust and innocence. So working the directions of the medicine wheel is part of my morning prayers and connecting with that light. When I need to call on that light to cut through darkness, I've got easy access to it because I started the day with it. And I call in my angels of protection and I open myself up as a channel for that healing light, love, which is the essence of all of us. Nothing special about me, it's the essence of all of us. But connecting with that truth and reminding myself, wake up, wise up, and live love now, be a channel for that healing light and love to the person, the situation, into the world, wherever it needs to go. That helps me experience inner peace because I'm focusing on something I'm in control of, whether I open my heart or not and send out the healing light and love. So when I do that, I'm feeling peaceful. And so the energy coming out of me is peaceful. And it's that light that cuts through darkness and creates a circle of protection for the work, the person, the situation. But it all starts with, again, intention. What do I want to experience? Do I want to be at the mercy of the quote distractions? Or do I want to be, instead of a victim to it, do I want to be a co-creator with Spirit, responding to those challenges, whatever they might be, in a way that uses them to do the growth work I need to do to open up the pipes and be a clear channel for Spirit's healing light and love through me. Does that address what you're asking? Is that?
Yeah, I think what's hard for me, and so I'm guessing others too sometimes, is you may start out the day, I want to say, on the right foot, right? You wake up, you set your intention, you greet the sun, you give thanks. I admit that when I'm in ceremony or out on quest, it's no problem doing the prayers to all the 7 directions, right? And I love singing the Chumash welcome song. Like that keeps me going on days sometimes where I feel like not otherwise going to be able to keep going. So I'm so grateful to have learned that at such a young age. And there's a lot of days where I'm like, oh, I just am in a hurry. I don't have time to do all 7. Can't sing the full song to every direction, right? Or maybe I even have done that and then something catches me on my way and the darkness comes in, right? And so I think if you could just again, that skill you have that I've seen you bring through in dealing with dark energy and ceremony, just a little bit more of tools that we can use in the week ahead for when we feel like we've started the day right and then something happens, right? And that dark energy comes in or we bump into it as we're walking down the street or in the news or whatever it is. Maybe you could take us through a little visualization practice so we can strengthen our muscle of dealing with the dark energy and staying in alignment with our intention.
Well, I think a preface to doing visualization is to speak to the fact that you can't have the light without the darkness.
Yeah.
Living in consciousness of duality on the material plane, it's impossible to have the light without the darkness. It comes with the territory. So just to understand that, and so when you experience darkness on an internal level, psychological, emotional, spiritual level, it's part of the territory, and it's part of being a human being. So not to judge yourself, or as bad, or I blew it, or I'm not good enough, or I just can't do this right, or it doesn't work, or just to accept, right, okay, so here I'm experiencing this form of manifestation of darkness. The key question is not whether, or the key dynamic is not whether you're experiencing it or not, but how do you create a relationship with it? You create an antagonistic enemy relationship with it. How can I connect with that natural expression of darkness that's part of this reality in this middle world in a way that helps me? And then it comes back to intention. Helps me what? Helps me what? Helps me get back in touch with inner peace. Helps me open my awareness to Spirit's presence. Helps me by asking myself the question, how can I create a response to what I'm experiencing that grows me in the directions I want to grow? What direction is that? So let's drop inside. Let's just take a moment. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring our awareness down inside. With our eyes closed, there is no separation, and just experiencing no separation itself can be a visual reminder, you might say, on the inner plane. Like Lane Deer said, we have to learn how to see with our eyes closed, of the interconnectivity, that on the deepest level of our being, there is no separation. There's only infinite oneness. So just take a moment to be with an experience of no separation, no duality, of just a field, infinite field of oneness. And the deepest essence of that field is the peace, that path of understanding, deep inner peace that's always at the center of our being. And so when we naturally get triggered in the course of a day by whatever the stimulus is that triggers our reactivity, instead of judging ourselves or doing a freeze frame and identifying who I am as that negative feeling, dark experience that I'm having, depressed or angry or bitter or self-pity or whatever, it's like a passing cloud. I'm experiencing it. It's not who I am. It's not who I am. Cloud of the past. And so I breathe in peace, breathe in love, breathe in gratitude for being alive and being able to make a conscious decision about how to respond to what I'm experiencing right now. Soften heart, soften belly. Breathe out and release. And the billions of years of evolutionary wisdom that's in our bodies, the system is set up to release with every out breath energy that's no longer needed. So I breathe into that energy of fear, depression, or anxiety, or negativity. I breathe right into it. I breathe the light of a new breath into it, feel it, and then I breathe it out and let go. And release, letting go of what's no longer needed, that serves my health, my inner peace, my well-being, my joy. And for each out breath of releasing old energy that's no longer needed, there's a little more spaciousness. There's a little more room inside, you might say, for the next breath that comes in. So again, intention. What do I want to experience in this sacred moment of being alive right now, the only time I have? I choose to experience inner peace. I breathe in peace. I breathe in joy. I breathe in strength. I breathe in confidence, or whatever quality of consciousness or being you want to experience in this moment of being alive. Breathe it in. Say to yourself, or out loud, say to yourself, I breathe in peace. I breathe in love. I breathe in health. I breathe in strength. I breathe in joy, or whatever quality it is you want to be in, and in power. with the focus of your mind, your intention, your consciousness, where we put our energy into gets stronger. And then the gift of the out breath. Thank you for the design of my body that I can release with every breath leaving what doesn't serve that quality of consciousness. Want to have grow and be stronger. And so when we notice some of the gift of our awareness that we're triggered into reactivity, remember that phrase. What gets in the way, as ego defines, gets in the way of its intention. What gets in the way is the way. It's not happening by accident or reactivity, but it's giving us opportunity to see where we're stuck in ego identity, where we're stuck in the reactive mind, just noticing it without judgment and letting go. Gets in the way is the way. It's a vehicle of opportunity to wake up in consciousness, to wise up. Remember, we're not our reactivity, we're not the thoughts or feelings or sensations, that we're sacred, worthy, luminous beings. Wake up, wise up. We are love, we're love. And love is forgiving. This moment of being alive is the only opportunity I have to honor that potential that Spirit gives me to be a channel for its healing light and love. And when I wake up and wise up, then I can live love now. Thank you, Great Spirit, for giving us the gift of this breath, bringing us together through the technology that Kimberly and Nicole worked so hard to master. Thank you so much. Thank you to the relatives listening now and will be listening on this Sunday. May you all have a peaceful, healthy, and blessed day. And remember, you are love. You are love. Love is forgiven. Oh, open your eyes, come back into being here now, and have a blessed day. Oh,
Thank you.
grace grows, gratitude flows. You want more grace in your life? More gratitude. All right.
Thank you, Poppy. That was beautiful. Love that. Thank you. Good way to start the week. And it's interesting. Nicole and I and Justin were talking the other day about regenerative leadership and the regenerative revolution. And for those of you not familiar with that, it's this. It's basically just reconnecting to our nature wise. When we are nature wise, when we are wise and in alignment with nature. And everything we do is not just like sustaining, but it's creating life. It's being within that cycle and regenerating. So thank you for helping us to do that this week. Yeah, and just a couple.
My pleasure. Mucho gusto. My pleasure.
Thank you. So just a couple of reminders that what I heard from you this week, we talked about the power of setting intention and doing so maybe for the week ahead and for every day, even maybe before you go into a meeting or something that might challenge you, like set your intention of how you want to go through that, about how you're going to meet distractions, remembering that what gets in the way is the way, right? Because we always have the opportunity to look at how we're going to respond when we're dealing with dark energy, whether in ceremony or in life, remembering the duality of light and dark, and both have to exist for the other. And so it's not a question of ignoring or not meeting the darkness, but how we're going to create relationship with that, so that we can, as you would say, polish up our stardust and shine, 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 right?
Good summary.
Good recap. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I guess you were paying attention. How about that?
So, sometimes, not always, but sometimes. All right. Well, anything else you want to share with folks this morning?
Well, being over here in Hawaii, aloha is a way of saying hello and goodbye, and it's the energy of love. So I just want to send out aloha to everybody listening here and empowering your ability to be in loving relationship with yourself. Be kind to yourself, be tender to yourself, and celebrate the sacredness of your divinity. You are a divine being. You have seeds of divinity in you. And one of the ways you polish up the stardust that our bodies are made of and fueled by is by being loving and kind to ourselves. And then we can be more loving and kind to other people, including the distractions. So I'm sending you aloha.
Thank you. Aloha back to you. When I lived over there, one of my local friends said that aloha really is it's the translation of I open my heart and send love out to you. So back to you. Thank you all for being here today with us. Share this with your friends, with family, anybody you think could use some of the teachings of the wisdom of shamanism coming through in our daily life. So thank you. And if you're interested in doing actual ceremony with Tom, you can learn more about him at drpinkson.com. So thank you, Poppy. Love you.
Love you.
Thanks,
Aloha.
Nicole. Love you all. Thank you all for being here. Bye.